The first pro with this 2023 Honda Pilot is going to be pretty much every aspect of driving it, minus one thing, and I'll save that later. But I am telling you, the drivetrain, ride quality, refinement, all of this is top tier. When Honda went to redesign this product, they really went to town, and I appreciate that because this is a massive upgrade over the previous generation model Pilot. For instance, the engine and the transmission. We have this dual overhead cam, naturally aspirated J-Series V6. It sounds good, it's smooth, and it's paired to this 10-speed automatic, which is Honda's own torque-converted automatic transmission. It shifts perfectly. You can put it into the sport mode and starts to shift a little bit quicker, a little bit more aggressively. The paddle shifters do a great job. No complaints there. I'm testing out the TrailSport model, and even this is a very quiet machine for what it is. Not too much wind noise, not even a crazy amount of tire noise either. We do have here the Continental all-terrain tires, but the point is, this TrailSport is supposed to be the most unrefined Pilot that you can get, but in reality, even this vehicle is quiet and also comfortable. But this SUV is comfortable without it being wallowy or jostling around the occupants. No, this vehicle doesn't make you car sick. It strikes the perfect balance between near cloud-like ride quality while still retaining great handling. So I appreciate that. And the only subtle con that I've noticed driving this Pilot is going to be with the steering feel. Once again, this could be due to the fact that it's a TrailSport. This SUV sits up 1 inch higher. So I've noticed that this steering is really light, and it almost doesn't match the excellent handling characteristic of the Pilot. In fact, there's even almost a play in the steering, which surprised me. But again, perhaps if you went with a standard Pilot that sits 1 inch lower and comes with regular tires, I think the steering could be improved. But it's really not a big deal. The average person, they're gonna like this because it's really light and easy to whip this massive Pilot around. And this is gonna be another pro for me. This is an easy SUV to drive. It looks massive. You have a massive interior space. However, out on the road, this thing feels tiny, like it's half its size. Very similar to the Chevrolet Suburban I tested. You know, I love it when vehicles drive smaller than what they are. Makes it manageable, and also you can bust U-turns in this effortlessly. So I like the ease of drive, and the interior for the most part is a pretty big pro, especially these seats. These are new redesigned seats for this Pilot, and it's very comfortable, supportive. You have some decent lumbar support. Doors feel solid both in the front and the rear when you go to close them. The vehicle is spacious in literally every row. I am 5'11". Getting in and out is very easy, and I can even fit in the third row. I'm not stretching out there by any means, but if the second row occupants can scoot up just a tad bit, then I really have a decent amount of space in the third row. So Honda does a great job in managing literally every square inch of their interior spaces. So if I can fit in the third row, you can be rest assured that your children should easily be able to fit in the third row. I've only noticed a few subtle cons in here, one of which, I mean, every car maker is doing this. They're putting this piano black plastic inside of their vehicles, and thankfully it doesn't really smudge, but it can scratch, and it does show off a lot of the dust particles, which is annoying, but almost every car make is doing this. The other two things that I noticed with the interior, this isn't a big deal, but we have here the optional 9-inch screen, and you pretty much get this with the EXL trim levels and up. Standard, you get the 7-inch screen, which is really tiny, but what I'm trying to say is this 9-inch screen, yeah, it works fine. I do like the infotainment. It's quick to respond. You even get wireless Apple CarPlay and wireless Android Auto, and all that works great. However, this screen just looks really small in proportion to the dash of this car. I mean, we have this massive interior space, and this 9-inch screen, it looks like a PSP mounted onto the dash of this vehicle. It would have been nice if they gave us like a 12.3-inch screen, but it's really not a big deal. It's a small thing. One of the more bigger issues is going to be this wireless charging pad. If you're driving this SUV harder, you'll notice that your phone is just going to slide out of place from that wireless charging pad. I wish they would come up with a more secure solution. But other than that, I mean, this interior is really great. Nice place to spend time in. Very cavernous. A lot of adjustability in these front seats. You have your separated climate control from your infotainment, which I really appreciate. You can look on Honda's website for yourself to see all the various options that you get with the various trims. Trunk space is all right. You know, with all of these 3-row SUVs, if you have the 3rd row up, then your space is going to be limited. But you fold them down, you have acres of space. It's pretty much the same story with a lot of these 3 rows. But another big pro with these products is going to be the overall safety of this. Safety features are on point. They work great. But also in a crash test, you can be rest assured that your family is going to be, well, safe. I think right now Honda might be leading the economy car, you know, segment in terms of crash test safety. They're really on point when it comes to that. And it's just another reason why so many people like and trust this brand. And I forgot to mention, the standard audio system in these Honda Pilots sound amazing. This is not the optional Bose audio that you get with the Touring and the Elite. This is the regular audio system and it sounds phenomenal, which I'm super happy with, because now if you don't want to step up to the higher trims, you don't have to. I personally recommend getting an EXL with all-wheel drive for around $45,000. And all-wheel drive is key with these products because it unlocks the 5,000-pound towing figure, but also you get that proper intelligent all-wheel drive differential as well in the back, and that helps to send more power faster to the rear wheels, and it really makes a difference. You notice it in the handling, not just in the dry but also in the wet or in the snow. That's what makes these products so good to drive, because it's properly putting down the power, and you got to get the all-wheel drive. It's really worth it. And I guess we can end off on this. I suppose you can call this a con, but the pricing of these, the Honda Pilot and Honda products in general, they do tend to be one of the more expensive vehicles in the class. For instance, that all-wheel drive EXL, it's around 45 grand. You can get a Nissan Pathfinder SL, which is one trim below the fully loaded Platinum, and that's also going to be around $45,000. So a SL Pathfinder is the equivalent to a Touring trim level Pilot, and a Touring Pilot is going to be $50K with all-wheel drive. So as you can see, there's about a $5,000 delta between equivalent trim levels of this Honda versus like one of the best value propositions in this class, the Nissan Pathfinder. I'm going to do a full comparison video with the 2023 Pathfinder, but make no mistake, this Pilot is the better product in many ways. And for a lot of people shopping in this class, they are willing to pay the extra money to buy into this brand and to get the great driving dynamics, the safety, etc. So it's not a big deal, and you know, you could negotiate $2,000 off of the MSRP of these vehicles. You know, when you go to buy one of these things, I would encourage you to reach out to the general manager of your local Honda store before you walk in. Just email them politely and ask for $2 grand off on a in-stock Pilot that you want, and they should be able to honor that. If you're interested in leasing the Pilot, I will have a free leasing calculator in the description box of this video. That way you can check the interest rate on the lease before you go to a dealership. So that's a helpful resource for you. But anyway, that's my quick look at the Honda Pilot. Great vehicle. As you can see, the cons that I have with it, it's very slight, not a big deal. This is a top tier 3-row product for its class. So hopefully you found value with the video. If you did, make sure to like and subscribe. Thanks again. Take care and goodbye.